All right, in this section of Teams tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a new team, specifically a classroom team. This is not my area of expertise. I've only had this demonstrated to me, so there are lots of things that I don't know yet, but I'm learning how to do, but this will at least give you a foothold and get you started. So the first thing that you need to do is go to your Teams tiles, which is right here. So if you click on Teams, it'll pop up all the teams that are available for you, and you can join or create a team. Now, we're going to create a team, so just click Create a Team. Then you'll open up this box that has 4 different options. You can create a classroom, a professional learning community, staff group, or other. I've only used classroom and staff just because those are the 2 things that are my primary roles. So I'm going to click on class, and I have to give the class a name. So I'm going to call it Mr. Gamble's Test Room. Okay, and I can add a description to it, but I'm not going to do that right now. The next thing I can do is I can add students or other teachers. So I won't be doing this right now because I don't want this to appear on some of our students' Teams environments and confuse them, but you can add your entire classroom just by typing in the first initials of their names, first and last names. And all of our students in Interlake School Division have usernames and passwords, and those descriptions of how to do those things have been made public. You can also add other teachers. So you might have a teacher that's a co-teacher, or you might have, for instance, a music teacher that would like to be able to thread what their learning goals would be through the literacy and numeracy stuff that you're doing in Teams. So you can add them as well. So I'm going to skip this section because this is just a test, and we don't want to add people. All right. You can start in this environment. You can see that the interface starts with a number of things preceded in here. So it's got posts, so it's got that common thread that we have on the staff one, the test page that we created. So as a teacher, you can do some dialogue with students, that kind of thing. You can also create meetings in that environment, add stickers and emojis and all kinds of stuff, attach files. At the very top on this banner, there are some options in here. So you've got posts, you've got files, and files will be empty because I haven't added anything yet. But you can simply click and drag Word documents or videos, anything you like, and it'll all appear there. Then you'll have a class notebook, and in the class notebook you can create some notes in OneNote, but obviously this video will not be about that because this could be a series of videos all unto itself. OneNote's a very powerful tool for classroom environments. But if you've created a OneNote space or you're familiar with OneNote spaces, you can create that and share that with students through this interface, which is handy. Now, you can also create assignments. It'll take a second for it to open. So I'm going to say click on Get Started in Assignments. I'm going to create one. And it can be an assignment or a quiz. So I'm just going to go through assignment first. Okay, so my title is going to be so in English Language Arts. The instructions will be something like read chapter 1 and write 1 paragraph summary. So I can add points to it. I can say that it's worth a certain amount of points if that's something that you're interested in. It can go out to all students, and I can set a due date. So let's say I set the due date for Friday. They've got 2 days to finish that. And now when I click on Assign, that will be assigned to my students. So they're going to see this in their assignments. So if I was to look in here, the student's interface, under assignments, they would see that they've been assigned. They've been assigned this material. So I'm going to go back to my classroom. So this is my assignment that I have, and I can create another one. I can mark them. Now this is not something that's that I have much experience with, but there is a way to address the grades. So once you've marked things, you can add points. It will tabulate things for you. You can also create in this environment. I can add Flipgrid, which I mentioned in a previous video. There is a way to add a Flipgrid environment to this. So I'm just trying to find the tile for that. These are all the apps that you can add. So if there are things that you like, they're often in here. So you've got Evernote and all that kind of stuff. I know Flipgrid is in here because I found it before. And they're not alphabetized for my convenience here. Just type in Flip. Let's see if that finds it. Here it is. Okay, so if I click on Flipgrid, I can add that tile. I can add it. It'll ask me for some credentials to add it. Something went wrong. I don't have a Flipgrid account, so I need to add the Flipgrid code or Flipgrid URL so it will add it. But if you set up an account where you're doing some sort of video challenges with students, you can add that as a tile. It's very useful. A lot of several of my teachers are interested in Flipgrid, and a couple of them are actively using it. So that's handy. You can also add other subjects within this classroom. So if you think of it as sort of a binder for kids, that's a way to think about it. So I've got a general tab, and I might want to add a channel, and the channel could be, the first one could be math. I'm going to add the channel, and it will pop in under here. So under math, once you're in math, you can create posts, files, notes, you can create assignments, that kind of thing. You can also manage the team. So when you go into manage the team, it'll tell you who the owner is. You can add members, so you can add students and teachers at any time. You can manage the channels as well. So I've got math. I can say whether or not that channel is something I want to show for me or show for all the other members, that sort of thing. Let me just go back here to manage channel. Go into settings. You can change the team theme, which we did with the teams before. Member permissions, guest permissions. You can change whether things are mentions come up in the stream or not. The team code is one that you can use to add people, and they can just send it in. So remember when we added a team, you can join a team just by copying this. So you could send this out to kids as their invitation to this if you didn't want to send the link. And when I go to Teams, go back to here, create or join a team, this is the code they were talking about. So if I click on here and I can add the code, it'll say join the team, and it took me automatically there. So this is what students would see, which is great. That's the end of my introduction to this. I haven't had a ton of experience with it, but I know lots of our teachers are working on this right now, so I encourage you to explore it and enjoy the environment. It's a lot of fun to play around it. Thanks, everyone.